Welcome to episode 6 of the Irish Fitness Podcast. This episode is brought to you by the Powerful Invitational, Ireland's premier mixed pair competition. It's on the 13th and the 14th of June this year, or 2020 rather, run by David Dunn and CrossFit Powerful. An excellent competition. I competed in it back in 16 when it was in his gym, but they've now elevated to a much higher level. They're on the Sports Campus Ireland in Dublin. It looked like a fantastic show in 19, and I'm sure Dave and the crew have the very same plans and bigger for 2020. So if you're looking for a competition in June, mixed pairs, I would definitely recommend it. I'm sure you can sign up through their website. I believe the tickets are on sale sometime soon. Is there some early bird ones?
Yeah, David has some early bird tickets out for people who did it last year. So, and then I think he's putting them on soon then for everyone else who wants to compete.
Get on that, folks.
Yep.
Amanda Cummins, I'm looking for a partner for the Masters. So Jeff, you're going to have to do without Amanda this year. So if you're looking for a partner, girl, hit me up. We'll take it from there. So Shane, 20.5. What did we see last week?
Yeah, we'll have a look at the women's leaderboard and then into the men's as well. The men's was really interesting last week as well. So the women's, again, like we say every week, there's no surprise who's on top there.
Yeah.
The one and only Emma McQuaid, taking first in every single workout throughout the Open. But if we're going from 10 up, we're looking at Rebecca Thompson.
Masters, shout out to Rebecca.
Yeah, another master.
We'll call them out first and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, Michelle Nagel, Claire McGlynn, Kerry Hewitt, Maria Jenkins, Hannah Moore, Catherine Fearn, Amanda Cummins, Aoife Burke and Emma McQuaid. Emma really separated herself at the top there. A huge points difference there. And then everything else kind of is even enough out. If you look at like maybe from 9 up to 3 or 9 up to 4 on that leaderboard, it's pretty even scores going in. And then even we're looking at last week, someone like Hannah Moore made a huge jump up the leaderboard. We didn't even know who she was. And we know now she's after making a huge statement there.
And she messaged me and she said you got it right.
I got it right.
It was actually Connacht, not Knock, so yeah. I'm a little bit retarded when I'm pronouncing names, so forgiveness.
Means hill in Irish.
Yeah. Okay, you were right, brother.
Yeah.
Fair play to you.
Call it like you see it.
Yes.
And then looking at even 20.5 scores that all went in, I think we have a good few finishes actually on that side. Emma looking at like an unbelievable score, 13.23.
Crazy. And
then Aoife actually took the second in that as well with a 16.43. And everything from there obviously went up towards, it was a 20-minute time cap in that workout. It was a really good workout because it was partitioned any way you wanted to do it. And we're kind of saying before that the muscle-ups are kind of separate on that. And if you're talking muscle-ups with women in Ireland, you have to think Emma McQuaid.
Yeah.
We saw her doing down here at the IFC and it was just phenomenal performance, you know. Aoife as well, you know. And then Amanda's putting in solid scores every time as well. She came 9th in that one, which took her away from the second spot. Aoife kind of held that spot because she'd be able to finish the workout. And then from there was a good more finishes there from Hannah Moore as well. And then to Maria Jenkins as well.
Very good, so excellent. So Rebecca Thompson starting at number 10. She slowly climbed the leaderboard, you know, very consistent. Didn't have a great performance on the last one, but excellent performances on all the rest of them, you know. She couple a top 10 finish and then 3 under 15.
She's good with a barbell too, so like
she's unbelievable. So
that.
Rebecca, she's an international weightlifter, you know what I mean? Savage score. Michelle Nagel did quite well as well. Very consistent throughout last couple of performances. Claire McGlynn took a little bit of a hit on this one. I would imagine it would have been the muscle ups.
Yeah.
She had all her consistent performances with her videos, you know, a fourth, 7th and 3rd, but then a 41st on there. So you could imagine she would have been a lot higher up. If she had a keep in that, say, even a 10th place finish would have taken her 31 points away from there. So she probably would have been in 4th place.
Yeah, she would have been top 5 anyway. So
that's the Open for you, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the way it goes.
You get spanked on some of the movements,
and
then
that
you go back
0.5
to
is
the
always
board.
a separator too.
Yes.
You come to notice that. So
Absolutely.
there's always some kind of muscle up or something that's going to throw you off.
Maria Jenkins, great performance throughout. Super performance. She finished in 17:38. Shout out to Maria. She bet me on that. She just took a little bit of a hit on 20.4, but very consistent performances. And actually, her best performance there was on 20.5, which is really good. Only 4 ladies finished that. So if you're a girl, again, a little bit more challenging with the muscle ups, I would say. So it's a really big achievement to finish there. Hannah Moore, who we talked about last week, got better as the weeks went on. She finished that as well, just under the time cap. Shout out to Hannah Moore from Canuck.
Canuck.
Is it Canuck then or Canuck?
Canuck. Yeah, Canuck in Irish, yeah.
Me with my knock. Close enough. Because we were sponsored by Knockwood, that's what it is. Trying to get that in there. Catherine Fearon, you could never count her out. Excellent placing on that, 16.45. Well done to Cat. She's a regionals athlete, very seasoned veteran. You could always say that she would, any competition she goes into, be it the Open or the any kind of live competition, that she's going to do well, especially the more technical it gets.
Yeah, and you can see those last 2 workouts suit her. They actually are. I thought 0.4 and 0.5 were actually very regional style workouts.
Yeah.
I know in regionals there's never that partition style, but there's always muscle ups and there's always conditioning with them.
Yeah.
If you look at regionals, so she's no stranger to that. So
Yes,
that's what suited her.
Amanda then, she again right across the board, second, third, sixth, and then her worst place finishing, but still a great place and in the top 10 was Amanda, again, considering especially that she is a master. And she has made it into the 200s, which we will cover now in a few minutes. Aoife Burke then, definitely, I think she's widely considered definitely number 2 in Ireland.
Yeah.
I actually didn't know about Aoife before the IFC.
Yeah.
I didn't know because obviously she's living in another country. It's hard to keep track of all the moving parts, but then she signed up for the IFC. And again, an ex-regionals athlete, super, but all these ladies, again, even how fantastic they are, I think they will always be playing second fiddle to Emma, who had a clean sweep right across the board, first on everything, and up there in the world as well, I believe. Is it 6th place?
I think she's either 5th or 6th now in the world at the moment.
5th or 6th,
so she's definitely in her peak right now. She's had the best open performance she's ever had.
Yeah,
she'll be doing the 5150 now as well, coming up next weekend. So, she's on the right course.
Think she could take it?
I think she could definitely get to the podium. There's nothing stopping her there.
I think so. I think
on a day and in competition mode, she's as good as anybody. So, and she's definitely, we've said the term open athlete. It doesn't really matter to her. She's everything. She can do it all.
She's an all-rounder.
Yeah,
she's an all-rounder, and she's proven that more and more. So as the years go on, she can do everything, and not only can she do everything, but she can do it as good as the best in the world.
Yeah,
as we saw on her first place in the world on 20.1.
Yeah, and there is some workouts as well at the filthy individual now that I think really suit her. Like they released one yesterday. That was like a trek one.
Yes.
4K bike.
Yeah.
4K trek bike, and then a 1K run. I mean, if you're talking aerobic capacity, that's her. And Briggs as well.
Yeah, Briggs.
Pretty sure Sam Briggs is still in.
Is she?
I think so. I didn't hear her of her pulling out of it. I know she got injured, but with her, she's a.
Did she stick a knife in Emma or something like that, or she tried to to take her out of it?
Yeah, maybe.
I saw that. I think I saw on, was it Emma's Instagram that she dropped the knife on her foot. So Briggs is getting a bit jealous that Emma can compete, so she's trying to take her out of it. Leave her alone, Briggs.
Yeah.
She wants to win the filthy 150. So yeah, that's basically a wrap up of the female board. Again, congratulations to all the ladies. You all did fantastic, and especially to Emma there, going back to the games for the second time. So champ Emma. Yep. She's representing Ireland again, going back to Madison. Congratulations, Emma. Right, let's take a look at the male board.
Yeah, so here's a male top 10 overall for the whole Open. Starting at 10, Lewis McMaster, who also made the top 200. We just noted that before the podcast started. Jeff Flood, Ashley Hawthorne, Chris Smith, Conor McGrath, Ty Glawless, Ian Goling, Jamie Heaton, Sam Stewart, and PD Savage.
Brilliant.
Like we were saying, like we had a chat last week about what happened on the leaderboard. We won't talk about that now again. That's kind of over and done with, but we did say the leaderboard would kind of jumble a bit like that, so it did. So it kind of figured its way out, and basically looking at the top 10, PD Savage, they'll take in Ireland with just an unbelievable performance all across, from an athlete that had a surgery. I think this time last year he's in a hospital bed and had to do anything. So phenomenal athlete, and just great perseverance from him. He really does deserve it, I think he was a 2-time regionals athlete. and then obviously had a whole
on the
host of
team
injuries.
as well. He was on the
team as well.
80-20 team a couple of times, I think.
Yeah. So he was able to work his way back. So we started at the bottom then. Miles Canning. I think we've always mentioned his. Oh, sorry, Miles is in 11th, but we've always mentioned his name. Yeah, shout out to Miles. He was kind of. He was on leaderboard every week. We're talking about this show, so brilliant. Lewis. We actually didn't have a good chat about Lewis at all because it's only on point 3 when he kind of made his move up the leaderboard. He had a really good finish in point 1 when he came in sub 12 minutes.
Shout out to Lewis, 35-39 champ. He's a master, so it's always good to see a master getting into that.
Kevin Claxton thought his name was McAllister.
McAllister.
Changed his name to McMaster because he's a master.
Because he's a master. He used to be called McAllister, but when he hit 35, then he changed it to McMaster. And it's not Lewis, it's Louis.
Louis McMaster, yeah. 35-39 McMaster.
Yes. He changed his first name now to 35 to 39. Shout out to Louis.
So in the second one then, in point 2, that's what kind of buttoned down the leaderboard. With 714 reps, he came in 45th in Ireland. So that's why we didn't get to kind of talk about him on this show as much.
He took a bit of a hit on that.
Yeah, and then he did work his way back up, finishing the workouts and after that. So fair play to him. Jeff Flood.
Shout out to Jeff. Jeff was actually a member down here.
Yeah.
Back in the day, he was an excellent athlete back then, real strong, and over the last 2 years then since he left here, he came down here, he was on kind of a placement for plumbing, I think it was.
Yeah.
Really shored up everything that he had to do. I know that he was working closely with Niall and really dialing in his game, and now he's number 9 in Ireland, so well done, Jeff.
Deserved.
Yeah, I'll take a little bit of credit for that,
just
a little bit, for them push presses.
Good performance at the IFC as well.
Yes,
kind of proved himself there as well.
And he won. What did he win recently? Or he placed 2nd or 3rd, I believe. He podiumed in an international competition recently. Somewhere abroad.
The Spanish one.
Yes.
Yeah. He went off to that. He did really well over there. Yeah. Was it Marbella? I think.
Could have been.
I know a few people that went to that from Ireland, so
he did very well. So Jeff is on the up and up. There's no reason why he shouldn't be. He's still young enough, shouldn't be up in that top 5 over the next few years. I look forward to seeing how he does.
Yeah.
How he goes over then.
Ashley Hawthorne, someone we're not too familiar with.
I believe he's over in England. Check that out, Shane, just a sec.
Yeah.
We'll give him a shout out there.
So we'll have a look, see what's CrossFit boxes here. Every time we do this, he ends up being in Ireland. He's not listed. Oh, River Mersey. So Liverpool, I think.
Yeah.
On that side of the water.
Yep.
Yeah, CrossFit River Mersey. So shout out to them anyway.
Yep.
He's obviously Irish in some way or form if he's on this leaderboard. So
he has the passport anyway.
Yeah. So fair play to Ashley. He's been on leaderboard every week in fairness to him.
Great performances. He had a 6, 22nd, 16, 12 and then a 15. So, a good few 5 under 20 performances, a top 10 performance as well. And very consistent again.
And Ireland is a competitive, regardless of the country, whatever. If he was UK before and Ireland now, Ireland's competitive as anyone. Our men's division is
super competitive now.
Look at our top 5.
The unification of the north and the south, and then obviously the passport thing. If you're around the world, then you're literally getting all the top Irish athletes in the world.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not just their location anymore. It's their actual. If they have Irish blood running through their veins, then they're on that leaderboard.
Exactly.
Which makes it more exciting for us as fans.
Yeah.
Because we can see the cream of the crop then going head to head, even if they do happen to be in another country.
Exactly.
I wasn't mad about it to start off. I was like, whoa, shit, this fella's over in England, this fella's over in Australia. But look, they're Irish at the end of the day, just because they can't be here at the moment.
Well, look, if they want to challenge for the top spot in Ireland, it's not easy. So I think it's the same as anywhere. PD Savage and Sam Stewart are still top 40 in the world.
Any of the people that are our national champions are on the island, so it don't matter,
Exactly,
that kind of way. People giving out about this and that, but they're Irish at the end of the day, so we're proud to have them represent whatever it is. Who else have we? Conor McGrath, who's not super familiar with that guy. Let's take a look at him there, Shane. He had great performances, so he had a 12th and 8th, 11th, little bit of a hit on 20.4, but then a super time 13.08 on 25. So have a look at, click on view profile there.
He's just it says CrossFit Dignus.
Dignus, I don't know where that is. I don't think that's Ireland, is it?
It doesn't sound like it to me, but you never know either.
Just click on the view profile there for a second. We'll take a little look. CrossFit Dignus. That's not him anyway. 31.
Oh, he's in
Coming
Australia.
close. Okay, so he's in Australia.
So last few years he was in Australia.
Yeah, so he's obviously living over there, and again he's claimed his national place by right of being Irish. Right, we'll go back to the board.
He has a 208 listed Fran, so fair play to him.
Nice, very impressive.
Send us a video of that if you can.
Yeah, I would like to see that. Okay, so Conor in 6th place. Then we have the future. Tig Lawless, shout out to Tig. And again, all these little red blocks mean that Tig has posted videos, which we've talked about on every show practically. It's a very brave move to be that confident in your standards and your reps, and to know that you're doing everything by the book, you're upholding everything. So it's a very bold move to put up videos. You're opening yourself up to criticism by the public and all that kind of stuff. So shout out to Tig. He climbed the leaderboard. He got very consistent. 13th, to 7th, to 9th, to 6th, and then a 14th. All super performances. And I think it's Tig 19. He might be. I think his birthday was like yesterday. Happy birthday, Tig.
Happy birthday, Tig.
Happy birthday, Tig.
I think he's 20 now.
He's 20
19
now.
or 20, yeah.
20 years of age, lads.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? All these fellas are late 20s. So how long before he gets his, I don't even want to say man strength, because he's stronger than 99% of the fellas up there.
Yeah.
But imagine where Tig goes now in the next couple of years.
His actual peak.
I know he's super dedicated. If you see him on Instagram, he eats right, he trains well, he does all the right stuff. I think he has his mental game sorted as well. So I think, I think he will go to the games eventually.
Yeah.
Back to the games. Because he was already at the games. He was there as a 16 to 17-year-old. So I'm sure that this 5th place now over the next few years will go to 4th, to 3rd, to 2nd, and then eventually, I think by the time he's 24, I think he's going back to the games.
I'd say so. And he's going to have so much experience under his belt when it comes to the Open too. If the Open's going to be his game. I even saw him on Instagram talking about sanctionals too. So whatever he wants to do, whatever path he finds there, I think the Open will really suit him in a few years.
Yep, absolutely.
It'd be him and I think Sam as well. And look, there's a few.
How old is Sam?
Sam is only about 22 as well.
22, yeah, super young.
Yeah, so
super talented.
There's obviously going to be a lot of boys still knocking around in a few years. But
yeah.
You know what I mean? You can only take so much because this leaderboard's pretty hectic as well in Ireland. So
yeah. So shout out to Tig, well on Tig. Next up we have the mutant, Ian Goulding, another fella that trained down here. Yeah. So I'm taking a little bit of credit for that as well. Ian was again very consistent the whole way through. He took a little bit of a hit on 20.4.
Yeah.
I'm not sure exactly what that was, but he had an 8th place, a 6th, a 5th, 22nd then on 20.4, and then a very strong finish then to wrap up the Open. He had a 12.31 on that. So again, super strong, still young enough, still up and coming. He climbed the leaderboard. He's excellent in live competition as well. He was 3rd at the IFC this year. So I look forward to continuously seeing Ian develop as an athlete and become better and better. Number 3 then, 3rd place. We could kind of call that a podium place, couldn't we?
Yeah.
As the 1, 2, 3. It's actually Ian's teammate and owner of Chapter 2, Jamie Heaton. So he's been at the very top in Ireland for years. Shout out to Jamie. He won the first workout, had a 5th, 3rd, 5th, and then a 6th. So nice and consistent across the board. Always a possibility to win the Open as well. He's been the fittest man in Ireland for years. He had that title.
Yeah.
He's won the French Throwdown. He's won the IFC before in 16, I believe. Maybe 16, I believe.
Been to regionals as well.
Yeah, he went to regionals.
Yeah.
You know, he's a world-class athlete. He goes to these big competitions as well, and he will beat, games athletes in some of the workouts. So again, congratulations to Jamie, 3rd place. 2nd place then, we saw an extremely close battle for the whole 5 weeks, didn't we? We saw, that's Alan Burnell ringing. Hang on a second, guys. Let me see. I'll tell him to head off for a minute.
It's the first guest ever rang us first.
Yeah, he's ringing us. Yeah, right back to him there and just tell him. My apologies, folks. We're running a little bit late. Burnell is trying to Skype us, so we'll have to tell him to back off for a few minutes while we finish up this leaderboard talk.
Yeah.
There we go. Now, so as we said, Sam in second place, 2 wins, a second, a third, and a fourth. Very, very, very close. 3 points. It was going back and forth the whole way.
All their times and reps are just a couple of seconds in between.
Yeah.
Petey just separated himself with that 20.4 workout with the heavy barbell, where he got about 2 minutes on Sam with that.
Yep.
That doesn't actually matter in the grand scheme of things when you talk about leaderboard like this. Obviously in the world it does, but he was able to just kind of edge him on that. And then the last one as well, I think Petey made sure that he was able to lock up the national championship spot with that workout because he knew it would sit with him.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
2 just brilliant performances all across. One of the best ones I think we've seen in Ireland. Kind of battles at the top.
That was a real race. It was a real race to the finish. Both of them, either one of them could have gone, and both of them deserve it. But Petey was able to hold on to the top spot. He pulled it out of the bag. He was just that little bit more consistent. He got his 8 points. Sam got his 11. But it could have gone either way.
Yeah.
We were back and forth the whole way, weren't we?
Yeah.
Army picked Sam, and I was there. Yeah, he could get it, and then Petey just comes back and he wins the last 2 workouts.
Yeah.
So he won 3 out of the 5, which is amazing. He had a draw for first with Jamie on the first one, which is crazy. But he had a draw with him on the third one as well. But as a whole, Petey was just that little bit more consistent with his higher place finish, and he pulled it out of the bag. So congratulations to Petey and to Sam as well. You both gave the whole nation a show for the 5 weeks that we were watching. So appreciate the effort, guys, and we look forward to seeing you all in the future. Let's have a look at all the masters and the teens just to wrap it up, guys, before we go. So we're going to give a shout out to all the masters and the teens who have qualified for the 200s. And we had many names there, didn't we?
We did. There's a lot of Irish people on this leaderboard now, which is great to see. So starting with the men, 35-39, Louis McMaster.
On Louis.
147th place, best master. Then women's 35-39, Amanda Cummins sitting in 44th in the world.
Brilliant. Shout out to Amanda.
Women 50-54, at 15th we have Tracy McGee, and 164th is Christine McCann.
Well done, Christine.
Women 55-59 then, we have 3 women there from Ireland. So in 39, Priscilla O'Sullivan.
Well done, Priscilla, good job.
104th, Gabrielle Byrne. They said Gabriel Byrne there. Gabrielle Byrne. 127th, Carrie Dryberg, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I think it's Dryberg. So all great performances there from the women.
Well done, guys, good work.
Into the teens then, so boys 16-17. There's one man sitting 14th in the world.
14th.
Brandon McGuigan, his name is.
Fair play to you, Brandon. Good work, brother. Excellent work.
Kind of following the footsteps there. Ty Lawless, just phenomenal performance in the Open.
Yeah, that's hopefully a legitimate possibility then that we will see him go to the games.
I'm sure we will.
Fair play, buddy.
Girls 16-17, 39th, Ellie Pike.
Well done, Ellie.
Just had a phenomenal Open. And then we have a girl sitting on the bubble here at 200 place, Aoife O'Moore.
Ooh.
So we'll see when the leaderboard settles.
Fingers crossed for Aoife.
That
it settles and she makes that 200. It's a big achievement, lads. We've had Martina and Brenda do it for years here, and it's the regionals of the teens and the masters, isn't it?
Exactly. Boys 14-15 age category then. Patrick Lenihan is sitting at 29th.
Patrick from 82. There's Burnell, guys.
He's at the hanging up.
Did he? Hung up.
Just one more then.
He's desperate, isn't he? Desperate to get on the show.
He has to teach a class or something.
Thirsty, that's what he is.
So it's Patrick Lenihan, 14-15 boys, sitting at 29th.
I love Patrick, that's 82. That's
and then
one of Army's training partners.
Oh, really? Brilliant. Last one in Sam McFowle, 76th in the world.
Well done, Sam. Good job, buddy.
That's our age group qualifiers there.
Excellent.
Burnell mad to get on the phone.
He is, yeah. So after the break, guys, we're going to have the kingpin of Irish CrossFit, a.k.a. the daddy, a.k.a. Big Mac, a.k.a. the giraffe, Mr. Alan Burnell. Today's guest, we have Mr. Alan Burnell. our national 40 to 44-year-old champion for 2020 season. Al, how are you, buddy? How's tricks?
Well, lads, how you doing?
Good, boy. Good. Good to see you. Good to see you. How's things with you anyway? Did you recover after the last 5 weeks? Are you keeping well?
Yeah, last 5 weeks were good fun. Bit stressful, ups and downs for myself personally, but overall it's a good laugh.
Yeah.
When you get to our age, it's only a little bit of an extra workout session, really, more than anything else, to excuse workout.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Well, again, as I say, congratulations. You've been putting it down for a year, so it's nice to see you finally get yourself a national championship.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah. There's only reason because I guess Colin Judge wasn't in it. He'll tell you that Colin Judge wasn't in, so
I don't know.
He didn't get it. So.
I would, yes. I'm a bit disappointed that we didn't get to see yourself and Georgie going at it this year, but I'm sure next year we will. When Colin is back to full health, we'll see how all that plays out, and we'll see who's the real champ then.
I don't think they have a hip replacement big enough for that man.
He's a big boy, all right. He's a big boy. You never know. The miracles of modern technology these days. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll see him back to full health. So, Al, thanks for coming on.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on the show today. I know you're in the middle of work there as well. So, Alan has his work laptop beside him and he's working away while he's doing this interview. That's how busy this man is. So, Al, would you, for all the people that don't know, would you give us a little rundown on your background and your introduction into CrossFit? I know that you used to do strongman competitions, didn't you?
Yeah, probably that's where the whole weight thing started to kick on for me. Because I've been always fairly active, doing different things anyway. Parents give me the opportunity to do loads of golf, tennis, football, and basketball, and as I was getting I was still a skinny little man, so I decided to do a bit of weight training, and the weight training then fall into some level of sort of strongman or deadlift, that type of thing, and I kind of grew legs from there. The strongman thing was fun. There's a lot of big guys out there. There's a lot bigger guys out there now, but it hurt a lot. There was a lot of pain off it, and I was always interested in training. I was always interested in different types of training. I remember one time being down in your place. Could have been 2009, 2010, and I was following a lot of what Joe DeFranco used to do. Remember Joe DeFranco?
Yes, legend.
And I remember giving you a Franco t-shirt. I hope you still have that.
I think I do. I believe I do. I'm sure it's floating around there somewhere.
Yeah, so I think where the whole gym side of things and the warehouse gym and warehouse training and all that actually probably came from Joe DeFranco, watching all his videos. And as you watch all those videos, then you start to pick up some sort of CrossFit videos, and one thing led to another, and that was really it.
Yeah, brilliant. And when did you do was my competition your first CrossFit competition? I believe it was. Was it 2012?
No.
Or was it?
No, it wasn't. No, I think my first competition would have been the CrossFit Ireland back in the day.
Yes.
Invitational.
Yeah. Shout out to Colin O'Reilly back in the day.
Colin O'Reilly, yeah. Colin O'Reilly's still there.
Yeah.
I think he called it Invitational 8 or Invitational 9. It was one of them. It was hilarious. I met some friends I've met there. I'm friends today. So that's how long or how good some of the people in the CrossFit community are. I think you remember sitting down beside Eamon Kelly from CrossFit Reserve up north.
Yes.
And he was eating chicken out of a packet. And I was going, what the hell is this bender at? And I had no food, nothing with me. And it was very funny. Like we had a workout called Isabel, but you could do the Isabel in any weight you wanted. So I remember we had not snatched. Barry McDermott was there. If anyone remembers Barry McDermott.
Oh yeah, shout out to Barry.
Barry McDermott was there. So, and we did Isabel, and I did Isabel with 60 kilos, and I think I got 20 reps in a 10-minute window.
Good Lord.
It was horrendous. It was horrendous to watch.
Yeah.
I got to the final, and we had 15 strict handstand push-ups to do in the final. And I said, looking at the wall, looking for my first strict handstand push-up, and I never got one. I think 10 years later, I'm still looking at the wall.
I was just about to say, did you ever find your first strict handstand push-up?
It probably was a no rep.
It's a long
Could
way
have
to
been
travel.
a few no reps. Could have been, and you've done many competitions since then.
Yeah. I've been lucky enough to be good friends with a lot of the original gym owners like yourself and Dermot Golub and CrossFit Mallow and Colin in CrossFit Ireland. And when there was very, very scarce, so what competition maybe once a year, so you'd have to go to it. I was crying out for competition here and there, and now you have a competition nearly every month anywhere you want.
Yes.
So it's growing exponentially.
It is growing exponentially with the competitions, but it seems to be now that it's all team competitions, isn't it? Yeah. All we see now is team competitions. I know that's where the money is and whatnot, but I would love to see, I know that obviously I do the IFC, but I would like to see some kind of a large individual competition that's accessible to everyone. The Filthy 150, you have to qualify for the elite division, so that puts that off the table unless you're a beast like Petey or Sam or whatnot. But it seems to be that people are shying away nowadays from the individual competitions and they're going towards the team competitions. And I know that's where the money is, but
I guess the first thing is more fun. A team competition is more fun. It's less stress on the person. It's the individual thing is a difficult animal now because there's a division between you've an extra division now, obviously, of elite, RX, intermediate, and scale, and we have a small pocket of lead people, and then we have a pocket of RX, and then we have a pocket of intermediate. And a lot of guys just don't want to put themselves out there, especially when there's an elite guy on the board or elite guy. You're practically just going there to keep make the numbers. I think what Kevin is kind of doing with that thing with Mark and Tammy. They're doing a competition soon. I think it's called a City Throwdown.
Yes.
And Kevin is using his own intuition and who he knows and what he knows.
I saw that.
He'd say if you're RX or intermediate or not.
Yeah, it's a good way of doing it, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a good way of doing it. Look, he's putting it out there that you do see, I think, people who should be in the RX division competing in the intermediates now, unfortunately. Yeah. So what he's doing is he's putting it straight up there, lads. If you're an RX athlete and you try to get into this, then you're going to be told out of here.
Get your money back.
Get your money back, which is fair enough. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah. I think it's hard to please. It's very hard to please.
It is. I think it's very hard unless the competition owner sets out exact standards and say you have 20 standards, and if you tick 15 of these boxes, then you must move up into the next division or whatever it is. It's very difficult to say, and it always leaves a sour taste in people's mouths.
Yeah.
Because the winner will always be accused of, they should have been in the next division. The benchmark originally would have been maybe the Open and where you came to the Open, but I don't know, with the Open and the scores coming in the Open and lads going here and there and guys who don't compete, it makes the Open scoreboard look a bit fictitious. It doesn't look as real as it should look. Why are you insinuating that people may have cheated on the Open workouts? No, what I'm saying is that we have there's a lot of in-house beats, and then when it come out to competition time, you don't get a lot of guys turning up. Yeah. So you can't measure one guy off the other guy because let's say 5 or 6 guys are in the top 15 and none of them have ever competed. Yeah. It's hard to put categories in. Let's say, like if you wanted to, like Kevin's competition said, anyone who came in the top 15 of the Open cannot do the comp. Yeah. Top 5 cannot do the comp. There could be 5-10 guys there who could, who have no right to be there in the first place. Yeah, it's difficult. I think really, realistically, the only fair division is the RX division, because when you're talking about scale, then you could argue that a lot of people could be going intermediate. And when you're talking about intermediate, you could argue then that, you know, some of the people should be in RX. So it's a difficult situation. I think.
Yeah, you can't win because as an inventor, you want to keep everybody happy. And if you run an intermediate event, well, then you're separating yourself from the intermediates.
Yeah. I suppose the best way for the athlete and the athlete's coach must be honest with themselves and have a chat. I know that I've stopped people here entering scaled competitions, and I've also stopped them entering intermediate because they're at that next level. So you're like, nah, that's not for you.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah, I think that's the only way.
Any now, I think it's, you know, it used to be the case of having an in-house comp or having a competition in your gym, but things have got so big now, you can't even do that anymore. You can't even have a throwdown in your own gym because everyone wants like 6 different categories and you know 10 different types of tests, and
it is
it's difficult to keep everybody happy.
It's very difficult to please everyone. We tried in the IFC, we just try and have as many divisions as possible, obviously, and then hope to God that the people make the right decisions in which ones they enter. But again, kind of the only RX, the only fair one is the RX. But look, that's the nature of the sport, I suppose, is
Intermediate seems to be the most popular one now, and an intermediate team seems to be the thing that everyone wants to do.
Yeah,
you know,
it is. Absolutely.
It's kind of hard to get people away from that.
It's a less stressful, you know.
Yeah.
The 5 weeks in the open as an individual is stressful enough as it is. So, you know, as a gym, we haven't pushed a competition in years in our gym. Like, you know, we haven't pushed anyone to go into a competition. I think the whole kind of vibe in our gym now is just, you know, there's a lot more in-house competition or a lot more in-house kind of banter that we would have rather than promoting one athlete or another athlete to a competition, because I found that people just get too stressed out and they end up actually hating it.
Yes, we've seen that. I'm sure you have seen it many times over the years.
Yeah.
When people are under pressure, not everyone likes that kind of pressure, and they will buckle then, and they will end up falling out of love with the sport that they did love once, which is an unfortunate thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's, you know, we do have probably 5 or 6 athletes in our gym who are very, very good. But that's all they want to be. They're happy just to be fit and they're happy to be moving. And but I can understand, like, you know, putting them out there on the competition floor and all of a sudden it's just like Bambi and ice.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
it's not for them. It's not for them, and they've made the decision. It's not for them. That's it.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah. And Al, in terms of when you're getting prepared for competitions and stuff, do you train the same way year round? Or do you say, okay, I have a big competition coming up, or I have the Open coming up? I know that you have a part-time job. Only joking, folks, it's full-time. But you have a full-time job, you have a family, obviously. What would a typical day in the life of Mr. Alan Burnell training look like?
If you could ask a couple of people and they would give you a couple of different answers here.
I'm sure they would.
But, Monday to Friday, it's first and foremost, it's the kids to school, and then normally, for me, in terms of training, I would normally try train Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I would probably train in the afternoon on a Monday, afternoon on a Tuesday, and sometimes if I'm on the road, I will probably train up in Dublin on a Wednesday, or if I'm in Waterford or if I'm in Cork, I'll try to find a gym and train on Wednesday. And that's it. I just train Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and I won't come back then until the following Monday.
Okay.
And well, it's by choice, but it's not by want. Just quite simply, just the way things happen. You know, my wife works on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, so Thursday, Friday, Saturday is taken up being a stay-at-home dad, and Sunday is family day. So.
Okay. And do you?
Yeah, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Would you consciously make an effort to up your training when you know you have a competition coming up? Like, say, 4 weeks before a big competition, like the one you did with Judgy over in England. Would you say, right, I need to get in 4 times a week or 5 times a week, or does it stay continuous with the 3 days a week?
I don't normally change it, and the odd time I'll get a sneaky session in somewhere, you know, if it's a Friday morning or a Saturday morning where, you know, Linda's gone away with the kids, but the kids have been taken away by my sister, and an hour here, 2 here, there.
Yeah.
Normally it's just the 3 sessions. The Wednesday session I try to hit it a bit longer and try to hit it a bit harder if I can. But I'm normally just broke up anyway, so you know, any more volume is just sweet. I don't enjoy it. I tend to enjoy competing rather than training.
Okay, well maybe that's obviously working for you. You know, you've had great success, especially coming into the Masters over the last few years. So the formula that you have with that is quite good. So fair play to you, Shane.
Yeah.
Now we have a few questions here from IG, brother. Nothing too controversial, I swear.
Before we start, I have to say a few things here now.
Yes.
I was given a list. Kevin Claxton and the lads in my Instagram group that I can't mention. So some of these questions I'm going to have to say no comment.
Okay.
That's fair enough, buddy.
I don't think there's nothing too bad.
No, there's nothing too bad.
There's
Nothing
usually,
too bad.
I think Claxton kind of rules this on Instagram. He kind of gets in first.
Yeah, I screened a lot of the bad ones, so you're all right, you're grand.
He's nothing else to do. He only changes bins.
That's it, yeah.
All right, Alan, so the first one is, what's your favourite competition you ever done?
My favourite competition?
Yeah.
Remember who you're talking to now, buddy.
Yeah.
Favourite competition, I think. One I competed in would have been probably the European Championships last year in the UK. Individuals, over 35s. That was good fun. Good vibe. Performed pretty well with little training. It was enjoyable to be kind of hanging out with Mick Watts and seeing the level he is at 35. In terms of competing, but you know, year on year, my favourite competition obviously is the one in Waterford. I have a close bond to Waterford, going to college there, but I also just enjoy.
Say on, buddy.
Better. So I'd say that as a competing, it was the European Championships. But
You were
the Throwdown, or I call it the Throwdown, the Irish Fitness Championships would have been the one I enjoy most.
You were a pizza man down here at one stage, weren't you?
While I was in college, I flipped pizzas and I worked in the Gino's Pizzeria there in the Apple Market for 6 years. So
great spot.
It kept me alive and it gave me a little bit of a gains as I was a skinny young man.
Yes,
Brilliant.
yes, I'm sure it did.
Okay, so Alan, the second one then is, how do you stay so shredded?
Pizza.
Probably not pizza anymore, is it?
What'd you say? I didn't pick up a center, mate.
How do you stay so shredded?
That's a good question.
He doesn't even know himself.
He has no idea. No idea.
I have no idea. I have the worst diet in the world.
Do you? What does take us through like an average day for Mr. Burnell on the diet side of things?
Breakfast, I do get it. If I like, sometimes I'll eat breakfast, sometimes depending on what I'm doing. Normally coffee, no matter what.
Like that coffee.
I don't have any structure whatsoever. If I'm hungry, I eat. If I'm not hungry, I won't eat. If I want a cake, I'll have a cake. If I want bread, I'll eat bread. If I want a glass of wine, actually, is it too early to have a glass of wine?
It is.
Not even 10 o'clock.
Hey, it's never too early to have a glass of Buckfast though, so we'll make sure we have that nice and early now, pretty soon.
I'm the worst person when it comes to nutrition. I'm the worst person when it comes to being disciplined or trying to be disciplined. I did it once or twice. I tried to do 50 days off sugar. That was okay for a while, but no, I've been skinny all my life. I've been lucky enough to be skinny all my life. That's all it is, just because I was skinny.
It's difficult, isn't it, with the family and whatnot, and having your job and traveling, I'm sure, to adhere to a specific nutritional plan.
It is difficult, but like, you know, that's probably only an excuse more than anything else. Because everyone else can do it too. But I enjoy both sides of life. I enjoy training, but I also enjoy I have a good balance now. I just enjoy both sides of it.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah. All right.
Next one then, Alan, is, are you afraid of column judge?
No, I'm not afraid of them. What you didn't see at 20.5 is myself and Judgy rolling on the ground, and he's slapping the puss off me. But,
beating the shit out of you.
I had him in a rear naked choke, and he next to me, he went to throw me down on top of a load of rowers.
Jesus.
And that was it. He just slapped me like little baby girls.
I think if the fight was standing, I think he'd have the advantage, being a national champion kickboxer. But I think if it went to the ground, I think he can get him.
I could be lucky. I could get a kind of big dangly leg around his neck, but
Yeah, that's it.
He's got a big rubber neck.
Choke him out, get a triangle. So that's something we might see in the future, folks. Colin Judge versus Alan Burnell.
White collar Watson.
Yeah. White collar box.
Get that going down here.
Actually, that'd be a good competition.
Yeah, it would.
That would be a great.
White collar.
That'd be unreal. That's a great idea. Ed. Put that together, man.
That'd be fun. And there's plenty of lads I want to slap, and there's plenty of lads you want to.
Oh yes, Michael Davern is not allowed into it though.
We have it in his gym.
Shout out to Michael Davern. Yeah, we could use his cage actually.
He has an SBG, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's it. Next question, Shane.
Right, so Alan, the last one then that we have for you is, what are your plans for the 2020 season?
2020 season. I don't have a season. If a competition comes up and I want to do it, I'll do it. If not, I'm not. I'll probably do a competition with Judgy again. We enjoy each other's company. We have a bit of crack, and we seem to bounce off each other. In terms of athletes, I'm quite strong with a barbell, and he can hurt a little bit harder than I can. He's very good on any sort of machine. So I'll probably do a competition with Judgy. Kevin is busting our balls to do the athlete throwdown. I think they're paying him off.
I think they are.
I might do the athlete throwdown qualifiers.
Yep.
It's not really. I don't really see it. Whatever comes up and I enjoy it, I might jump on it if I don't.
You'll take it as it comes. Are you going to the Filthy 150 next week?
I'm going as a spectator.
Yep.
I only bought my ticket yesterday, the day before. We have a team ticket in the gym, and one of my coaches, Philip Lockman, and he's taking a team up, a couple of masters.
Very good.
So Philip won your competition a couple of years ago, and he was second last year. So
Yeah.
Yeah, they're doing that. We're going to go to watch it.
Who's going to win out of Mickey, Petey, and Sam? Who's your money on?
Are all three competing? Yeah.
All three of them are in there. Mickey got the invite because he was national champion. Shout out to Mick. And then obviously Petey and Sam qualified then through the qualifiers.
Who will win? I think the least amount of pressure would be on Sam. I think because two boys would be bouncing heads off each other the whole time. They're both from the same area. They're both the same coach. They both Petey just after coming off a very, very, very stressful open. Mickey was injured the last two and had a bad start. So I think the two boys rather than Sam. So I think Sam could probably be a little bit more pressure. Pressure is the word I'd say, but my heart is telling me PD, but my head is probably saying Sam.
Yeah, it's going to be a great show. Anyway, whatever it is, I'm going to try.
Yeah, hopefully, the biggest problem we have in this country is the bloody weather. So hopefully the weather will make some sort of a break for everyone.
Yeah. I think it's only, there's a little bit of running and then the cycle run as well outside. So a lot of the stuff will be done in on the floor. So whatever the weather is, and they're, what I mean, they're elite athletes as well. They won't have any issue with a bit of rain. No. My dad used to say to me when I was working for him, and it was lashing out of the heavens, and he would send me up a ladder, and I would complain. This is when I was 16, 17 years of age, up to change a light, he say, and it's pissing out of the heavens. I'd say, Dad, do I have to go out in that? And he'd say, what's wrong with you, boy? You're made of sugar. So it's the same for them, you know what I mean? You're not made of sugar, so I'm sure they will have no issue with it.
I don't think we have the winner in that. They'll have a good little competition.
Yeah, it would be difficult to say that they would take the first place on the podium, possibly a podium, but again, coming up against some of them guys is going to be a real battle for them. Do you think Emma will make the podium?
Yeah, I think Emma will make podium. Again, you don't know what the last 5 weeks has taken its toll on a lot of people. Especially the Irish guys, the kind of season open elite athletes are take the open as almost like a training session. One and done. I know some of the guys have done 20.5 3 times.
How many
Claxton? Mad.
How many times did Claxton do it?
Oh, he'll tell you he only did it once. He only did it once because he won and he had a soft judge.
Yeah. I'd say he did it about 100 times.
You'll see on the video of the 20.5 video that they don't show one of his muscles.
No, why would they? Why would they? Right, so Al, listen, me brother, appreciate you taking the time to come on anyway. As I said, congratulations on your top spot in Ireland. I know that it's by the sounds of it, you didn't actually work that hard for it. So I would love to see where you actually get it if you did put in a serious few weeks training beforehand. I'm sure the points would have been a lot different on there. But yeah, appreciate you coming on, brother. And we'll talk to you soon, all right? Oh, sorry, is there anyone you want to give a shout out to now before we wrap it up?
No, not really. No, thanks for having me, guys. I wish PD and Emma all the best at the games. The two very good representations for us in Ireland, and fair play to them. They both worked very, very hard. PD especially coming back from a long string of injuries to show a great result. Come back, fair play to them. Very inspiring.
Yeah, excellent. All right, my friend, I will talk to you soon. You take it easy, and as I said, we'll try and get together for that Masters Christmas special now before... hang on a second, I just put a load of blocks in front of your face. We'll try and get together for the Masters special before Christmas. How's that sound?
That'll be good fun.
Yeah, we'll get the Buckfast out, and we'll get the shortbread, and we'll get Claxton and the rest of the boys down. All right, buddy, I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Alan.
See you later, mate. Thanks.
Good luck. And that's a wrap for episode 6 of the Irish Fitness Podcast. We really enjoyed the last 6 weeks, didn't we, Shane?
Yeah,
we had a great buzz with everyone. We'd like to thank all the guests and all the sponsors who came on. Again, shout out to Emma and Petey for being our national champions. We're very proud of you, and we can't wait to see you at the games. As far as the podcast, so we've done our 6 episodes, which we committed to, and because of the great feedback we've gotten from you guys, we've decided to keep it rolling. We have some fantastic guests coming up in a few weeks.
Loads of people lined up.
Our world champion, Masters champion, Michael Welch. We have Mark Toner. We have a lot of other guests on. Petey's coming on, our national champ, next week. So that's going to be an exciting episode. So until then, guys, take it easy.